Guys, welcome to the first ever After the Final Beatdown. Psyched to have all you guys here. We got Michelle Money, we got Erica Rose, Casey Cowell, Deanna Girardi, William Holman, Ella Nolan couldn't make it, but she might come on later. She's having some internet problems. And Jackie Gordon. Guys, round of applause for yourselves. You guys killed it on the Bachelor pad too. Nicely done. So we're going to start off tonight with some relationships. Let's be honest, the show's based around relationships. And I got to say, to watch this as kind of an outside perspective, Rich, you're with me on this one. It was interesting to watch because you guys are not only, you have the couples on there like Graham and Michelle and Casey and Vienna, but you have the couples that are kind of bonding together, like you had Erica kind of jumping around a little bit, you had Blake kind of jumping around a little bit. I'm gonna go to William. You were kind of one of the guys who didn't have a girl as a full-time whatever on there. What was that like to be kind of, I don't want to say outcast, but I'm gonna say it. What was it like to kind of be outcast from that whole relationship thing?
Well, I don't know. That it was. I'd say for the most part, the reason you probably don't see me on the show at all is because most of the time, for the first the first week or two, Holly and I were joking around. We flirted quite a bit, and we hung out quite a bit. I think everyone would agree that most of the time that you saw me, Holly and I were hanging out. But I always said that I could never pursue that kind of relationship with her ex-fiance in the house. So for me, I always just left it at a friendship and left it there. But it was definitely awkward to see everybody else go along and they had somebody to choose, and I just didn't have anybody outside of what I tried to have with Holly, just on a friendship level.
Fair enough. Erica, for you, kind of trying to find that key partner during the show, I mean, what was that like behind the scenes? I mean, obviously millions of people saw you, but what was it like from your perspective?
Well, I found it really stressful because I felt like going into it, actually, Casey had intended for me to be partners with Kirk, and we had all spoken before the show, and that's why he said on the first episode that he wanted us, to be the alliance, but then Kirk decided on his own that he'd rather be partners with Ella, so I was left without a partner, and I wanted Jake to be my partner, but obviously no one wanted him around. And so then I thought that Blake was really smart and he'd be a good partner for that reason, but I didn't take into account that everyone hated Blake, and I thought everyone would just get over that. And actually, I had approached William a few times about being my partner, including on the first night, but every time I did, he would run off and try and find a different partner. Even the first day, he would rather be with Gia because he didn't know she had a boyfriend. He thought she was prettier than me, so we could have been partners. But...
William, what were you doing?
It was a bad idea.
What a man.
Yeah.
I love you, Erica.
I love you.
I'm gonna go over to Michelle here. Michelle, you and Graham had teamed up from the first night. What was it like to kind of be on that whole relationship aspect of the show?
Well, Graham and I didn't team up on the first night. We actually didn't team up until after the first rose ceremony. Yeah, after the hookup. He had partnered up with Allie and I partnered up with Ames. And so yeah, the relationship that Graham and I kind of developed on the show didn't start, right away. It kind of slowly progressed, and so, but once we kind of teamed up and partnered up together, it was like a very solid partnership.
Fair enough. Now, Casey, Vienna, I'm noticing you guys are on two different screens here. Do I dare ask? Are we at the same place? Are we not? Are we together? Are we not together? What's the deal here? We'll go ladies first.
I think he'd laugh at me right now. I told you the truth.
A running inside joke that I don't know about.
Why'd you break up with Casey?
Yeah, why? Let's hear it. It's all good though, because now I'm with Jackie, so me and Jackie are together.
Babe, can you keep it down? I'm trying to do a web show right now.
Sorry.
All right. Little webcam trickery. Let's see. Yes, they're in the same room.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Well played. All right, so what was it like? You guys were kind of edited to be the power couple of the house. I wasn't there. I don't know if that's true. How was it being on the relationship end of the show, the power couple that you were edited to be, if you will?
It it was definitely weird and tough. I mean, I went in there knowing that we were a couple and we were going to have a huge target on our back, and or at least mine anyways. And so going into the house, I tried to have some pre-made alliances, and I set to them and stuck with them and try to get them all the way to the very end. And with Vin and I being together, I think it kind of issued a trust factor because no one else could actually come in there saying, I can trust this person 100%. I don't have to, make a decision without or with thinking that she might stab me in the back. So I think a lot of people had that kind of advantage when they actually found their partner early on. Unfortunately, like Will, he didn't, he didn't have a partner early on. He was having fun. I mean, I give the guy props. He just kind of hung in there, had fun, and just did his own thing. He was one of the few that got to walk out there unscathed on the moral level.
I thought Emily was going to be there.
Dude, you're probably still living that down, saying that, aren't you? I got to be honest. When you got off of Ashley's season, did you honestly have a few people come up in capital of Thailand you right in the nuts because you said that, or what?
No, actually, the roast, people are always like, it was actually you went for it, you didn't hold back. The thing that I got more crap for was the whole Ben C issue, like throwing him under the bus. That was where people were like, you really, it didn't set well with me that you did
What
that.
is the truth about that? I've been wondering.
On the exit.
Yeah, we want to know the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're recapping
I mean,
season 7 now.
You guys know that, and I'm sure, hopefully you've learned that I don't like to lie. It's not in me to be that guy.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I told Ashley what was going on in the house, and I still feel bad for it, and I hope that Ben's doing great down in Louisiana, but and I'm sure he is. But it's just, I told her about it, and it wasn't like, hey.
Did Erica just say he is? Erica
I
just
talked to
chimed
him
in and said,
sometimes.
He is.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You guys talked at the men tell-all.
We bonded over our
Oh,
J-date experiences.
Yeah.
I got text messages about this from Erica.
This is so amazing.
Oh man. All right, fair enough. So you caught a little bit of heat, but
Oh yeah.
I from again an outsider's perspective, you seem to be, and Rich, I'm gonna go to you after this. My perspective of you was you were kind of the guy that you got caught up in the editing of the show. You got the full-on editing shaft.
Yes.
You took it like a man, just like Michelle Money. She got the editing shaft too, but stuck around long enough to prove to people that she wasn't the way that the edit portrayed her. Rich, what's your take on that? Did we lose Rich?
Where's Rich?
Yeah.
Go.
Richard.
Oh, I guess we lost him.
Oh,
well.
Where
no.
are you?
Yeah, Matthew's gone.
Maybe we can summon him.
Yeah, right.
Let's all
text him.
chant together.
So, all right, another
Oh my God.
another little controversial relationship on the show was obviously Jackie and Ames. Everybody's dying. Your eyes just got really big when I said that. That's funny. Everybody's dying to know, Jackie. What went down after the door in the limo shut? Nobody knows what happened. Give us.
You
a
don't
little-
want to know.
Behind closed doors.
Honestly, not everybody knows.
Give us the Cliff's notes. The Cliff's notes. It doesn't need anything you want to say or don't say. It's up to you. This is your time.
It is not PG-13.
I think it is. I think it's G. No, I mean, the minute we got in the limo, it was just, it was love at first sight, let's be honest. From the minute I walked into that house, the game aspect was really out the window for me. Sadly, to an extent, because it didn't work out, I was just happy to have met him, and, we got in that limo that day that he went back with me, and I thought that I was going to marry this man, honestly. Like, I'm not one of those crazy girls, but I just got this overwhelming feeling that this is the one, and it worked out for a reason. And we went on vacation together. We went away for a week, and we had nothing but wedded bliss. So
Where'd
it
you
was
go?
really beautiful. We went to Napa.
All right.
Oh, wow.
You guys didn't know that?
So then what happened?
I didn't.
Yeah. So then what happened? So you guys are on the
I'm
road
so
to getting
confused.
married
This
at
whole
this
thing
point.
confuses me.
Yes, me too. Please proceed.
Yeah, okay, so we were together, and we came back to the city, and it was kind of after the men tell-all that things seemed to change for me, just from what I observed with him and his actions. And I think he's a great guy. I really can't say anything bad about him. I think that the whole experience just kind of was maybe too much for him, and it might have been a little overwhelming. And that was the time that I saw the change. Maybe he was getting a lot of attention. Maybe there were talks about being the Bachelor. You name it. I don't know what it is. He's never told me exactly what that was, but there was like a pretty immediate change. So
3 words: random Facebook groupies.
Oh no.
Matthew, you're back.
I was here the whole time. I was trying to talk to you guys. You're like, where'd you go? I'm like, I don't know. I pulled a William Holden. I'm on the list, but you don't ever see me.
So you think it's random Facebook groupies that did it?
I guarantee, man. Those Midwest girls, man. Those Midwest girls. Wes will tell you all about them.
He doesn't even have Facebook.
They just find a way to get hold of you.
Twitter.
Actually, I think Ames got scared because Jackie told him the good news that you got pregnant. What, 3 more months? 4
Brilliant.
months?
People might believe
Horrible,
that.
dude.
Seriously, this is our rumor star.
Did you ever
Yeah.
get to go to Ames's? Did you ever get to go to Ames's house and ride around in the carriage with the butler? I got.
No, I haven't.
Man,
I haven't.
Ames, buddy, if
Dude,
you're
that's
watching, I'm gonna need some tutoring for Little Sack. So call me, dude. I need you to hook me up.
And I want to
His
ride on
butler's
that
name
chariot
is-
with the butler.
His butler's name is Alfred, by the way.
Seriously?
You're kidding me, right?
No.
I was like, really?
I was gonna Twitter him about Alfred. That's a good thing he told me. All right, so other relationships that were going down. You got the whole Blake and Melissa drama. I gotta know. I'm gonna go to Michelle on this one. Was this really, because you seem to be kind of her girl on the show, at least in the edit? Was this really the way that it was portrayed? Was he kind of doing one thing and shafting her another, or was she blowing it out of proportion to being a chick?
No. Well, I think Melissa is an emotional person, and she'll be the first one to tell you that. Like, reality TV is not for her, and she's well aware of that. But in my personal opinion, I do think that Blake his approach to the game was more of taking all emotion, personal stuff of it, and just playing the game. And so, unfortunately, Melissa, responded to his, because he really was leading her on. And of all the people in the house to lead on, Melissa is not the girl to lead on. And so, unfortunately, it really affected her. And she reads into every word that people say to her. And she takes things very personally. And so, I think it's a combination of Blake playing the game in a way that to some people can be respected. And to me, it was a little bit more dirty because I'm a friend of Melissa. And so, I don't know. I've made it very clear that I'm not like the biggest Blake fan, and that's not the way that I thought you should be playing the game. But I always have to remind myself, like, it was a game. And so I just feel bad for Melissa.
All right, I can see that. I'm going to go to Casey on this. Casey, I want a guy's perspective. Do you agree with Michelle, or do you think that he was justified in the things that he did and said to Melissa?
I mean, like, bottom line was it was a show. We did a lot of things that, we might not all look back on and appreciate that we did them. Blake, I think Blake is a good guy. I can't wish him nothing but the happiness with him and Holly. Good luck with that. But as far as what he did to Melissa on the show, I don't really think that was the right thing to do, because Melissa was very fragile. She's very, very emotional, as we all can see. And I think knowing that he did that, and he continued to do it, was kind of the wrong thing, because people will agree that he did it more than once. He did it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, he would go back, they'd fight, they'd go back, they'd fight, and this is like, all right, dude, you should probably stop, because she's probably gonna cut your nuts off.
Yeah. I will. Can I say one thing though, Jesse?
Of course.
Melissa, because Melissa is so emotional, those segments of Melissa just happens to be good TV. So you see a lot of emotion from Melissa. And I just want to let everyone know, Melissa is not like that all the time. Melissa is one of the coolest girls you'll ever meet. She is a loyal friend. She is a great person. She has a big heart. And so I think that Melissa is very easily misunderstood as being like this train wreck, when in reality she's an incredible person.
She's very easily edited as well,
Right.
Yeah.
She gives people a lot to work with.
That's
So.
much better said. She's easily
Well-
edited. I like that.
Very easily edited. William, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, the last night that she was there and got voted off, she was also ridiculously upset because Blake promised her that she wouldn't go. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it was aware to her and him that it wasn't going to work anymore, but he promised her he was going to make sure that she stayed. But I spoke my peace of mind that night and talked to some of the people about stuff going on in the house, and everybody was like, William's right, Bill's right. Let's vote off Melissa instead, because that seems like the most reasonable thing to do. And so that's why she also was pretty upset and emotional that night, is because she didn't think that she had to worry about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
Blake
at one
really
point-
did try to save her.
He did.
Blake did try to save her at the end.
He did try to save her. Blake was pretty upset with me that night because I spoke my mind, and then everybody decided to go that route instead. I had known earlier in that day that I was going home. So for me, like we had already, I just said to everybody, I want to have the best time I can this last night. Let's make the best of it and have a good night. And then
I was in the fetal position, bawling the entire night because Will was going home.
I think Barman Blake is a good guy. I really do think he's a good guy. We sat around, we had lots of shots together, and had some fun together. I think he just got really caught up in the game. I mean, he tried to get me off several times, and we never let it
Don't say it like
that. you gotta be real careful how you use "getting me off" on this show. People can misconstrue those sort of things.
Come on.
Anyway,
Will, how many times did you try to get me off?
So now we know the true reason why the Casey Vienna sex fight was on TV. They had to air that instead.
Man.
They're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That is true.
This is turning into a shake weight convention.
No,
That's been us on TV or one more Bachelor comes out of the closet.
Blake is the guy who I went to after that.
Yeah. When they cast bad, put them in a room full of dudes and a room full of chicks and see which room they act better with, because it's getting a little nutty.
It would have saved me a lot of trouble.
With that being said, we're gonna go to the beatdown, or the after the final beatdown clip this week, and we're gonna chat a little bit about Ben F. So let's take a look.
Hey everybody, Richard Matthew with an After the Final Beatdown countdown. After that 3-hour-long Bachelor Pad finale, which quite honestly, had we edited out the awkward and uncomfortable moments, would have been all of 43 minutes, all we have to look forward to is Ben F's season of The Bachelor. So I'm here to count down for you the top 3 things that we can look forward to seeing this January on The Bachelor. Number 3. Crazy bitches. The Bachelor producers have one really good thing going for them. They know how to get a nut out of its shell, if you know what I'm saying. And if not, that's okay. That's what editing's for. Number 2, connections. Some of these girls are so hungry to fall in love that they're going to use anything as a common ground connection with Ben. Oh my God, you have a winery? What a coincidence. I get drunk. And the number one thing that you can look forward to seeing this January on The Bachelor is for Chris Harrison to come out and tell you that it's the most dramatic, fill in the blank, ever in Bachelor history. We'll see everybody in January. Back to the Beatdown.
Yay.
Oh man.
I love your commercial for Bachelor.
Keeping it clean, man. Keeping it clean.
It should have been Valtrex.
This episode of the After the Final Beatdown is brought to you by GoDaddy. You can get reliable and secure web hosting without the long-term contract. So whenever you guys are going to do that, check out GoDaddy. With that being said, we're going to move on to another Blake relationship. We watched Blake and Erica have it out on a little one-on-one time. It was very awkward to watch on TV. I got to know, Erica, was it really that awkward, or was it the magic guy with the wheel in the editing room?
No, I mean, it didn't even show everything. Like, it didn't really end when Blake walked away.
Damn it.
He ended up coming back.
So,
but,
someone words for her.
Oh, can you not hear me?
We can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're doing great.
Okay.
Keep going.
Closer.
So it didn't really end when Blake walked away. Like, we really got into a bad fight that night. But what it didn't show is I did say, hey, we don't even have to sleep in the same room. Maybe it can show us walking into separate beds. I just think, like, strategically it was beneficial for us to spend the night out of the house. And, of course, that part got it edited out. It wasn't really about me just being, like, horny and wanting to hook up. Like, it was a very strategic thing. And I don't think that came across, but we did get into a really bad fight, and that's why I told him that he's a true Gemini and he has 2 different sides, because I did see his temper come out. So we made up after that, though.
I bet you
Wait,
made
so
up.
what you're saying is that you're saying the lingerie pack never came out?
No, it never came out. He never got to
Oh,
see
it
my
was so
lingerie.
cute.
Oh.
Dang it.
I'm gonna go
You can send it to
to
me. I'll use it.
I will.
I'm gonna go to William and Casey on this one. Did Blake come back at any point and discuss what happened with Erica?
I was already gone, so for me, I didn't get to hear any of that. But as far as
Casey.
like after the fact, Blake told me about it. So
Blake came back and he didn't really say much. He just kind of smiled, laughed about it, and said, "Nah." He said nothing happened, dude. So he was kind of he was smart about exposing what really happened, because he knew that if there was like a break in between them two, then people might have been able to capitalize on the actual show. But they stayed strong together, and they looked like they just had a good time, had fun, and there was no drama or tension between the two. So he played it well.
All right, we're gonna move on to Erica's other relationship on the show. Erica, you after things kind of went down the way they did, you teamed up with Jake.
I tried.
Yeah. Well, give me a little. I mean, you guys kissed. I got to give Jake, and you both credit. I mean, honestly, I don't know Jake too well. I've only met him once, but I've never seen him kiss another girl other than on his season. So, what was that like? Is he actually?
It was. Everyone said it looked like the most awkward kiss ever, and watching it looked really awkward. Like it just did. It looked weird.
Like
but at
Michael
the time,
Jackson, Lisa Marie Presley style. Like it was like you thought the gay guy was kissing someone.
It was, and it didn't feel passionate or anything. But at the same time, we weren't kissing like a handshake. Like everyone compared it to that. Like, oh, they were kissing to like seal the deal. And Jake said that too. I think in his ITM, which later he told me that he said that later on. I mean, at the time, I thought it was a good idea to team up with him. He came to me. He's very convincing. And he convinced me that that would be my best chance in making it far in the competition. And I was upset at that point after Kirk decided not to be my partner. I needed a new partner, and he's a great competitor. And I do think that if he had stuck around, he would have been able to win a lot of the challenges. I tried to talk to Casey and Vienna and ask them if they would let Jake stay, but they didn't want him to. And so that's why I kind of turned against them. But I wish that he could have stayed around. I think he would have been a good partner, but like romantically, it wouldn't have worked for whatever reason.
Michelle, from the other side of the fence, what did you think when you saw all of that going down with Jake and Erica? And you and Graham were kind of laying low. What were your thoughts on that whole team, if you will?
Well, that whole situation was very complicated because Melissa had come to us and told us that Erica was being shady and trying to form something with Jake and
who told you that?
Melissa.
Okay.
She made it known to everyone. And so, it was a complicated situation because I didn't know, no one really knew if it was just Erica playing the game or if Erica genuinely was interested in Jake or what the situation was. And so, I tried to just stay out of it as much as I could, but Melissa felt very strongly that she was getting thrown under the bus. And so it was just another dramatic night at the Bachelor Pad mansion.
Jackie, you were not there at this point, but knowing how the game was kind of playing out, watching it on TV, what were your thoughts when you initially saw that?
The whole kiss between Jake and Erica, you mean?
Yeah. Were you thinking it was strategic? What were you thinking in your head?
Yeah, I was thinking it was very much purely strategic, kind of on both ends, and I understood why they were both going for it, and it made sense to me at the time. I didn't expect it. I can definitely say I had no idea that was coming, but and it might have been a little awkward to watch just because you could tell it was, just a little weird, but well played. I think it was a good move. It's a good shot.
William, as a guy watching who wasn't there but knew everyone, what were your initial thoughts on that?
Actually, I didn't watch the show. I mean, I don't watch it. It was entertaining to do it, but people always ask me, well, then if you didn't watch it, then how do you know what happened? And I'm like, well, because I was there, and I did it. But I don't know. I guess I'm glad I missed this awkward kiss that happened and seeing his landing gear came out. I'm glad I wasn't there for that.
landing gear.
All right, we're gonna move on to Casey Vanna. You guys were kind of dubbed as not villains, but kind of, you know, like as an outsider watching and knowing kind of the characters there, I felt like they kind of took what you guys were saying and they dubbed you guys as kind of the assholes, the arrogant assholes, if you will, pardon my French. But they, you know, as hard as I felt like Jake was trying to come back and make up, people don't come back on TV to make up. So I wasn't buying that whole package of it. I want to get another outsider's opinion. Rich, what were your thoughts when you initially saw Casey and Vienna on the show, their edit, that sort of thing? You met them at the reunion in Breck, so you kind of knew who they were. What were your thoughts as a viewer?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you the first thing is like the first time I met Vienna, I freaking hated you. Okay, here we are in Gavensworth, New York. We're in the Gavensworth Hotel in New York. She comes in the elevator, or we're getting out the elevator on the first floor. She introduces herself to everybody in the elevator but me. I was like, "Fuck you, bitch!" All right. Fast forward to Colorado. I meet Casey and Vienna as a couple. I finally get a chance to talk to her and give her my name for once, and I get to hang out with them, and I absolutely love them because they're all about what they're about. You know, there's no fakeness there. They tell you exactly what they're about. You know exactly what you're going to get with them. Although I don't ever suggest having your bedroom underneath theirs on a reunion. Just saying. All right. So now I see these guys on the show, and I know exactly what they're about. And at no point did I ever feel like they presented a fake side to themselves. They knew what their goal was. They were not shy about sharing that goal with you, and that's how they were the whole show. Whereas with Jake, I just felt like I didn't know. Like, was he trying to get redemption? Was he trying to win money? Was he trying to find love? You never knew his storyline. So I almost felt like they were being vilified because they were going after a goal. Whereas if you knew them from the inside, you can say, wait a minute, yes, they're going for their goal. They're just motivated. Versus, I'm not sure what their goal is.
Honestly, thank you, because that's exactly what our motive was. When we went on the show, like we already have love. We already, you know, are winners in this, but we're gonna go in there and we're gonna be dead set to win that money.
Exactly, and you were like that from day one.
Also, I think that what they...
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, also what happens is, you know, there's a certain characteristic that ABC sometimes loves to exploit. And, you know, on my first season, they exploited, like, the whole over-the-top sweet sense of the guy that got a tattoo. You know what I mean? Then they do a whole 180, and then I'm this jackass that wants to punch Jake in the face for America. You know? Yes, I was a little drunk, and those words came out of my mouth, but... they just decided to replay it every...
I gotta go. Be right back.
It was just one of those things. But I mean, in no ways that I want to, you know, hurt someone or punch someone. I was just... that's my personality. Like Erica, Michelle, like Richard, like you guys, they've all seen me in an area where I'm just like trying to be funny. I'll say funny things, and out of context, and the way that might look is I might come up, that might sound like something. What you guys saw on TV.
If the worst thing that you do is say that you want to punch your girlfriend's ex-fiance in the face,
there you go.
For like America.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
You're doing just
and
fine,
I just
buddy.
have to say something really quick. Like, Casey and Vienna are the most kind, like, thoughtful, giving people. And I initially met Vienna, like, for the first time when she walked through that door. And from that second, she has been nothing but an incredible friend to me from start to finish. And Casey has been the same way from the very beginning. And so it's really important because I feel like I've kind of been a victim of the editing too. And so, you know, what people are seeing is not what people are. It's a very small percentage of what someone really is as a person, and especially in a relationship. And I will say that Casey and Vienna are passionate people. And because they're passionate people, everything they do is very intentional and it is very, you know, driven. And that's an amazing quality to have. But, you know, I more than anything, I want people to know, like, you know, with my dad passing away just recently, like, Casey and Vienna have been the people that have been there for me, like, you know, when other people that I thought would be weren't. And I think that speaks volumes about who they are as people and their character. And so I love Casey and Vienna, and I don't want anyone to misunderstand that for 1 second.
Thank you. Love you.
All right, guys, we're going to end part one of the After the Final Beatdown. We'll be back in just a minute with part two.